Dun, dun, dun. Money.
Money.
Money. Money. Welcome, everybody, to a very special edition of ETE live and colored. I was going to put colored. I don't know why it's so racist. Two black guys talking about wrestling. I'm Marcus the Grand Finale, and I'm joined by not one, not two, but all three faces of Jamal, representing Brooklyn, New York City.
BK all day, you already know, you heard?
Yeah. And we are here to talk about one of the top 100 matches of all time. Maybe the greatest women's match of all time. Maybe. I don't know where people stand on this. We get to the end of the show, but this is one of the most epic matches ever in the history of the WWE. This is Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné, potentially in AEW. Who knows what happened tonight? Maybe they don't do big business. Maybe it's kind of like, we messed up in the silo. But no, they doing it.
Some small business being made.
Yeah, maybe we're doing big. We're going to do some little business, actually. We're going to handle something. And she's going against Bayley at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2015. Before we go into the Mercedes aspect and the future of both women, we're going to cover this match, and then we're going to do a complete deep dive, a preview into tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite Big Business. And you know what? We may even have follow-up questions about what's going on in New Japan Cup and all that other stuff, whatever's going on in the world. But without further ado, let's talk about some NXT Takeover Brooklyn and everything. I want to first point out, I believe this might be our first NXT match that we're covering on this show. It might be. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it is. I think it is. We've talked about rivalries and stuff like that, but we haven't mentioned any NXT anything like deep dive. So this is the first takeover that, and there's a lot of takeovers that deserve so many takeovers, but this one in particular put women's wrestling where it should be. It's one of the best women's matches of all time.
Yeah, because right now in 2015, NXT is arriving basically on the scene. They're in their infancy stages, they're expanding the brand. We're in the quote unquote women's revolution, as these women are all getting caught up, except for Bayley. Everybody got caught up except for Bayley at this point, and they're in their random factions of Unity or Team Bad and all that and shit. And we're in this era already, and we're in the heart. Yeah, Vince McMahon was like, "Women, guys, women." I mean, this is something no one's ever seen.
What were they originally known as? The submission something, and they found out it was some BDSM.
No, that was Charlotte and Paige. The submission sisters or something like that. whatever they were called, whatever. So we're in the middle of that, and NXT at this point is becoming the hottest brand in all of wrestling. It was more liked at this point than the main roster. Takeovers were on fire. They were just the thing to watch. And before there was AEW.
You just had to be there, man.
Yeah. NXT takeovers were just like, wow. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, this show is on. It was the hottest streak ever. And I'm going to say probably my favorite run in wrestling. Just watching these takeovers and NXT when it was back just on the network and everything. It was just a hot brand. And Triple H was becoming solidified the king. And it was a lot built on women's wrestling. The Charlotte and Natty matches, or whatever the horsewomen were doing. Asuka was on her way in.
Asuka was just coming in. Asuka was just coming in. You had Bayley still hugging people. You had Sasha Banks already called up. Well, like Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte got called up, and they were already doing major things on the main roster at this point. Big high-profile matches against the Bellas and company. But this match in particular, especially since Bayley is still down there working with girls like the Iconics and Emma at the time. Emma at the time,
Yeah.
Tennille Dashwood and everybody, like she's still putting in the work. And you know, as NXT champion, she was just trying to prove herself to become NXT champion at this point.
Yeah. At this point, Bayley had never won the title. This is her title match. She's come short in multiple matches at this point. Sasha Banks has just beaten forget. Oh my gosh.
It was a fatal four-way.
Should have my notes.
It was the fatal four-way that they
with
had.
Becky, Charlotte, and was it Paige? No. Fuck, I forget who the fourth person was. I'm just gonna say Emma. But I honestly can't remember. I'm blanking out. I don't know why. I should have brought my notes on who she beat. But it wasn't the long run because Sasha would lose it to Bayley here in Brooklyn. But this match, the crowd for Brooklyn was hot the entire night. But I didn't think it could go to that next level until this match started, when I don't think no one knew what they were getting. I thought it was gonna be a solid match, whatever. It's NXT Takeover. The women are doing great things, but I didn't think it would deliver the way it delivered. What were your thoughts going into the match or around the match of what your expectations were back in 2015, if you can remember?
Well, of course. I mean, like shit. I was a hugger, man. I had the hugger shirt. I had the Bayley shirt. Like, my ex-wife was a Bayley fan, a huge Bayley fan, and we were ready for Bayley to finally finish her story. And then obviously the disdain that I kind of have, the disdain that I kind of have already. Like, it's Squasha Banks. She's from Boston. It's like, I can't root for this. She gotta lose. But to that degree, Sasha is very accomplished at this point, and in her conjuncture of being the champion. She really didn't defend it yet. She was just talking her shit, and she was on the main roster. She was like, "Yep, everything is falling in line for me," and this and the third. And if you really think about it, and it's kind of weird that about to say this was the blueprint, because Bayley and Sasha being the blueprint, and years later during like COVID and stuff like that, this set up the blueprint for every other woman to, like, you could see the pattern. Okay, you lose the title, you head to the main roster, and then you fucking have a career. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really look at it, like Sasha did it, Shayna did it, Io did it. Asuka kind of did it because she didn't lose.
Didn't do shit.
Because she didn't lose. With nobody. She had the release. Yeah, she had to relinquish the title. But it just, you saw the pattern going on. And so if they lose the title, then they might go to the main roster. This set the foundation for that, the blueprint for that. So
so it was already a foregone conclusion coming in that Sasha was probably going to lose this title because she was on the main roster already, and Bayley wasn't. And Bayley was going to carry basically the brand and bring up the new generation coming in. And at the time of Sasha being champion, for me personally, I was like, she all right. Like, that was when she did it. She all right. I enjoyed the character. I enjoyed her signing contracts with just the stamp. I enjoyed the whole boss thing. I understood her charisma and all that. But as a wrestler, to me, she wasn't proven. And I felt like this was the match when I went, oh shit, she for real. She's serious about this. And it got really emotional, really like emotional. I believe she beat Charlotte. That's who she beat, by the way. And it just came to me right now. I was like, oh yeah, she beat Charlotte. And then in this match, you get all types of just wildness. It just keeps going up and up as things kept escalating, as the room and the people get it. Whether it's Sasha doing dives, or Bayley wrestling with a broken hand and Sasha kicking her into the stairs. There's the poison Rana off the top ropes.
Ripping signs.
Ripping signs. taking the whatever
the bonnet
he had on her head.
The bonnet thing.
Yeah, the bonnet. Took that, throwing it, making a kid cry, going like, "Oh shit, this is a real heel. This is a real heel. This is old school Hillary. I didn't mean like Hillary Banks, but this is some Tom Hillary here." No. But this was some, like, I hadn't seen a heel like Sasha in this match in a long time. And basically not since there was not a heel. Only maybe MJF could come off as someone that was this despicable in like a regular wrestling match, because she was really actually despicable in this match.
Mind you, at the time, MJF is probably not even in wrestling school. Let's just put that in perspective.
Yeah, he's probably 16. He's 16, maybe 17, maybe
So
younger than that. This is almost 10
he,
years ago. And he's 25 now, I think. So this is like this could be one of the matches that influenced him. This is also considered Xavier Woods has said this is his favorite match of all time. Like
all time,
all time. And
all
you know what?
time.
I can understand them
There's a lot
because
of matches. Well, he's back there. He's
yeah,
dealing. He's dealing with it. He's watching it from
he's
behind the
watching it
scenes.
going on, and
So
and I can see why he says that, because if you show anybody this match, you get a good understanding. Heels and faces. You get the athleticism for both sides, Bayley and Sasha, from whatever dives and poison ranas and whatever else they threw out there. You get the underdog coming from behind with Bayley. And you just get so much out of this. Just get the fundamentals of wrestling with all of this, with this little quick with this feud and match here. So I can see how you call it that. But it's one of my top. It's in my top 10 probably of all time, to be honest.
all time, it's not my top 10, but it's definitely my top 20. And it's in the high, like, 13, 11, somewhere along those lines. There's other matches that fit that mold. This is the modern day, and people might not like agree with me on this, but this is basically the modern day Steamboat Savage at WrestleMania 3. This is what that was, in modern times, if we're really talking about it. And that's men or women. Like, that's just
I
this
think
is a
the
modern
influence it
Steamboat
had.
Savage.
I think this match is responsible for so many people, not just male, but also not just female, but also male wrestlers just getting into the wrestling business, going like, "Holy shit, this is what to happen." And it was like, okay, this is what wrestling is going to be like in the future. Basically, like
Well,
this is
this
that
was
next
the
level.
this was the perfect case of what professional wrestling is. And I always tell this to all my friends and anybody that cares to listen, that wrestling is the greatest love story ever told. And if this match doesn't show you that, then I don't know. You don't have a pulse.
I mean,
You don't
it
have any
has
pulse.
everything in it. It has underdogs. It has people just being evil. It has the ultimate baby face of Bayley. It has this crowd of like people just going, ooh, and holy shit, this is awesome. Like they
I mean,
earned every single
Brooklyn is
chance.
a
This
hot
isn't,
crowd. You know what I'm saying? This
yeah,
was in Brooklyn. Like,
this felt like it was like, and it was in the place of the what the Nets play. I can't remember the actual
Barclays Center. Barclays Center.
Barclays Center, yeah. This is in the middle of Barclays Center, and it's one of the hottest crowds since I've seen since like maybe an ECW in front of like 20 people, but it's more like maybe 5, 6, 7,000 people in this, and it's rocket, and it keep going up and up to where this overshadows like any other match on that show. Whenever someone talks about NXT Takeover Brooklyn, whether 1, 2, 3, whatever number they get to, it always comes back to
first match that they think about is Bayley and Sasha. It's the very first match that they think about. They're not talking about Drew and Andrade. Great match. They're not talking about fucking Gargano and Ciampa. They're not talking about, Roderick Strong screwing over Pete Dunne and becoming undisputed. They're not talking about that. They're talking of Bayley and Sasha Banks and what they did in that match.
Now, to me, I think the greatest spot in the match, and I don't know where it stands for you, this is my favorite absolute spot in the match, is the bank statement, Bayley crawling for the rope, Sasha stomping out Bayley's broken head in the middle of that. Because I ain't never seen no shit like that. That shit was so... when she started doing it, I went, oh, she's out of her fucking mind. she's going to retain. Like,
she
at
really
that point,
stomped,
you lose
she really
all hope
stomped
in
her
Bayley.
hand. She really stomped her hand, too. Man, her hand was already broken before the match, too. Like, she really did a number on her hand prior to coming into this match. And, I think that, like, because Bayley is one of Dusty's kids, And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Like, Dusty Rhodes had a big influence on her so much that she had the Dusty polka dots in this match. And yeah, man, like, she fought through. She fought through and did her
Oh,
part of the match is actually that reverse Rana off the top rope
yeah,
that almost botched.
yeah.
That was the
We
spot of the match for me.
that was scary, and you go like, oh, whoa! They did a poison rana basically off the top rope, and you just see
It
like
was
it looks like
botched.
they're gonna land on. Yeah, looks like she's gonna land on her head. It looks like they're gonna like. It looks like oh shit, but the botch I thought elevated this. Like the imperfection of this, like she almost died,
The
but it looked
the
worse.
imperfection the imperfection made it perfect
Yeah,
because it's like, oh no,
yeah,
and,
it
and
made
then
you
everything
immediately
worked
go,
out.
yeah, you clench real quick. Oh, they're okay. They're okay. They're all right. Sasha's all right. Bayley's all right. We're gonna
She's
continue this match.
crazy.
She's
She's crazy
crazy.
to even attempt that.
And then there's a pinfall kick out. You're like, holy shit. And then it comes to the end. Bayley wins the match. Both women are just bawling in tears because they know they just put on an absolute classic. Sasha's hairline is at its worst, but she didn't care. It's all the way back
The
here.
edges all coming out.
Yeah, she's as bald as I am right here at this point. But it didn't matter. It wasn't about looks. It was about what was going on and the emotion after that thing. Bayley won, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, give their flowers." Sasha's in tears of like
Charlotte
this
and Becky
joy.
somehow end up in the ring.
Yeah, because I think they were at ringside, right? Weren't they at
Yep,
ringside watching it? And then they
yep.
were just like every other fan in that arena going, "Oh shit! Oh my god!" To the point where you wanted them to like, they got to run this back. They do run it back in like an Iron Man match in the next takeover.
The
It's like a
30-minute
30-minute
Iron
Iron
Man
match.
match.
It's good. I like the match. It tells a good story that Sasha didn't land a single pinfall basically on Bayley. She won doing shadiest tactics whatsoever, countouts and shit. And that was a good match, but it doesn't live up to this one where you just go back and go like, this is out of they're fucking crazy. This is fucking crazy.
It's a secondary match.
Yeah. With that being said, I have a question for you. After this match, or not after this match, retrospective, we're going a little bit into the future here. Was this the peak of Sasha and Bayley? Was this the end? This is the end. Like was this like they're never going to be able to top this match? Do you think that was where we were at?
I don't think that they peaked. I think that this was set again, like the blueprint, the foundation of what's to come. Later on, after these matches ensue, Bayley ends up getting called up to the main roster. Thank you, Mick Foley. Fucking.
She was a post WrestleMania call up in New
Yeah,
Era or whatever.
yeah. So like later on, Bayley gets called up. Sasha Banks and Charlotte end up doing main events for the first time in WWE history for women, women's Hell in a Cells, clamoring for women's Money in the Bank matches, clamoring for the women's Royal Rumble matches, and they didn't even get started yet. And it could be argued that out of the bunch, Becky was the one that was slated to not be like the person. And now, hindsight 2020, you're looking back now, and it's actually Sasha that is still got a lot left to prove in the tank. Charlotte's established, like there's nothing that she can and cannot do. Uh, Becky is now a super mega star. Like nobody's gonna, no matter what she does at the end of the day, Becky Lynch is gonna be in the mouths of fucking the household, no matter what. If you're watching,
Becky got to be Steve Austin for about 2 years.
you see what I'm saying? Like Becky two belts is just not gonna. You're not gonna forget that. Like what I'm saying, and obviously Bayley, for reasons other than changing did her whole Hulk Hogan turn, like, and made it work. Like, not only doing the turn, but making it work to the point where she's doing back to babyface now. She's on the road to WrestleMania, finally winning the Royal Rumble. I've been saying, how many years have I been like, Bayley's gonna win the Rumble, Bayley's gonna win the Rumble, Bayley's gonna win the Rumble, only for her not to do it. And
I still don't believe she won the Rumble. I'm still checking the tape. I'm still checking the tape, and we're still reviewing it.
Liv
Becky
got
Lynch
kicked off.
won that Rumble, and she challenged Rhea Ripley.
Liv Morgan got kicked off for the second year in a row. Bounce the fuck out of here. Pack to the fuck up.
I was watching Liv. Liv asked me to watch her, and I watched her go off that apron and lose. Luchador chimed in. This is one of his all-time favorite matches. Easily one of the best women's matches of all time. Corey Flynn said, "Hi, how's everyone? We're great." We're talking to wrestling today, and we're doing big business. I would like to say, I think, considering their great careers, I think, Sasha still has a lot to prove, and as Mercedes, and she is probably the most relevant of the horsewomen right now. Even though Bayley won the Rumble and is going to WrestleMania, she isn't going to main event that shit.
Doesn't make even no sense. We got Mercedes Moné, who gets injured, winning the she won the IWGP Women's Championship. She competed.
She
was. But she competed for the New Japan Strong title in the finals, loses to Willow. Willow's the first. Congrats to Willow for that. But we know she got hurt. She's a walking injury waiting to happen. It's like, okay, can she go the distance? She's starting to turn she's like a more famous Tegan Knox. Like, she's just
nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to Sasha. I'm not making it more to you. I think she's
every time that she has won a title, she has lost it like the next week or the next month and stuff like that. The only time that she held the title for longer than freaking a span of a month was when she was tagging with the GOAT Bayley, all right?
Yeah. And I would say I would not call her Tegan Knox. She is simply the women's edition of CM Punk. Like, that's where you're at. Where you wrestle a match, you get her, like, a bunch of bad luck happens, but your name and recognition, name and recognition from
get everybody in asses and seats,
yep,
get injured,
yeah, and you get everybody there, like, and you compare them and their egos and what they expect, their expectations in wrestling, and that's who Sasha is. It's like watching one and the same as their career go on. I don't know how long she's going to be healthy for in AEW, but I tell you this, if she wins that title, I want her losing in the next month. I want this to continue, that Sasha or Mercedes cannot hold a title no matter what company brand she's in. I find that hilarious, and I think it adds to her story. It adds to her story that she cannot hold, that one day it's going to be so big in which you're like, oh, she's going to lose, and she's like, not this time, and she actually wins every time a title. I want to agree with you that I believe both women's their peak was during the pandemic. Bayley actually found her character of, heel Bayley once she got rid of the Bayley buddies and everything else. And they were just able to riff off each other, and they were the hottest thing in wrestling in the pandemic. You throw them on the show against a Dynamite, they beat Dynamite in the ratings by themselves. It was absolutely insane how important Sasha and Bayley were on the main roster.
I mean, just think about how important Sasha Banks was to Bianca Belair's career. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bianca winning the Rumble and then going to WrestleMania in the main event of night one against Sasha. So
yeah, Sasha has made so much history in wrestling with being in first women's matches of all kind, whether it's Hell in a Cell,
Iron Woman matches.
Iron Woman match. First in Rumbles. She's like she's the first one to start in the Rumble. She's first black woman, first black person to probably main event at WrestleMania in the 2-night format. Knock out Booker T. Knock out Booker T.
Booker T.
Or The Rock. I consider The Rock Samoan, okay? He never talks about the Johnson side, okay? I didn't see the Johnson side in that family tree he put up weeks ago, okay? I wanted to see Rocky Johnson, my cousin Nook or something. I want to see the black. I want to see the black side, Rocky, before I give you all of that. With that being said, all-time classic match. What is your projections for Mercedes, and who would you like to see her wrestle in AEW?
Off the rip, her and Britt gotta go. Her and Britt gotta do it. But Britt is not even back yet. So, as opposed to right now, I don't toss her against Toni Storm just yet, right? And some might argue with this, but you got to put her in the ring against Saraya to make it right. You got to put her in the, you got to put her in the ring with Saraya.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want
to
see
put it in. You got to put her in the ring with Saraya to make it right. And then there's Chris Statlander would be a nice matchup for her. Maybe Willow again. Like they already have the history. Like hey, you cost me freaking the New Japan Strong title. You could put her in there with Deanna or somebody that's contending. Don't put her in there with no damn Red Velvet and then fucking smoke Red Velvet out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I guarantee it's gonna be a Red Velvet smoking on Collision. At some point, she's gonna whoop Red Velvet's ass on Collision. And Sky Blue.
Well,
Sky
Blue would be a good match. Maybe she goes after, instead of the Toni Storm, maybe she goes after Julia and then puts herself in position in that realm. So, working around with other AEW women's talent. Maybe a Rio, because she's the same size. She does want to work with Japanese stars. So Hikaru Shida comes to mind. So that'll be good matches for her.
Yeah, because the AEW women's division isn't the strongest. It's had a lot of stuff going on with their backstage drama, whether it's with Britt Baker in their camp and all this kind of drama they have in there. But matches I would like to see, you got to put. There's the Jamie Hayter match, who may destroy her because with power and size.
Jamie Hayter is a strong foe. She's a physical presence, like compared to other women, and it's not like she's not Nikita Lyons, right? But she's got that thickness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to see her fight Hayter. I personally would like to see her wrestle Thunder Rosa just to see the personalities clash and the drama backstage of what may happen with those two egos collide. Of course, there's Britt, the biggest star in their division.
That match was draw. I'm thinking probably Wembley Arena.
Serena D and Sasha will put on probably some classics, just in-ring matches.
Serena Deeb could put a classic with anybody, and she's proven that.
Yeah. There's a few, and hopefully that they have stripping the division. I mean, you still got people like Taya Valkyrie on their roster who not really being used, and then you also have in Ring of Honor Athena and stuff like that. So
I was just about to point out. I was just about to point out. Maybe Sasha goes to Ring of Honor and does some things over there.
I ain't doing no.
No, I'm saying
I don't bring her in for that.
Underneath the AEW umbrella, going to Ring of Honor, making people watch it because Sasha is there or Mercedes is there. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough for Athena to do what she's doing, because Athena is doing some legendary shit right now when it pertains to women's wrestling as the women's champion. She's been the longest reigning women's champion of all time in Ring of Honor. Like in every iteration of the women's title, there's been two. So you see what I'm saying?
So before we move on to Bayley's future, one last question about Mercedes in AEW and her doing big business tonight.
That's if she does.
That's if she does. That's if. It's still an if.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen when she doesn't show up? How disappointed is everybody going to be when she doesn't show up at all?
As I told you in the pre-show, the funniest thing and the most AEW thing that could happen is we do all this advertising. Tony has her 100% booked to show up. She's there. She shows up. I don't like my locker room. Walks out. And you just like, oh shit. So my question for you, The over under 6 months in backstage drama between Mercedes and anybody in that locker room. What do you got? Over or under 6 months?
Under 6 months.
Under
Under.
6 months?
It's under. It's under. I'm not gonna say that she's a crybaby because she's dealt with a lot of emotional issues over the years, and it's for a lot of reasons. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't take into account that she is still taking care of her brother who is on the spectrum. She's helping her mom out and everything like that. I don't know how her relationship with her husband is, if she's still with that dude or not. You know, I don't know. So, like, you know, her emotional toll, like, you know, being injured or t- uh, the doctor's actually telling her that she won't wrestle again, and she's fighting through the injury to wrestle again. So, there's a lot of
He
mental
might.
health issues that come into what she may or may not do, but it's definitely going to be under.
He's going over and he's giving it a year. I got the 4 month range. I got some random stuff. I need to see the first media scrub. I don't know what
Yeah.
the next pay per view is. I'm assuming it's Dynasty, right? And I'm assuming she's gonna wrestle on that show. I need to see her at the first media scrub and see this may cause the issues where someone asks one question, she just may go off on that person asking the question,
Do you know who you're
or
talking to? I'm the
you know you're
boss.
talking to.
I'm the
I'm the blueprint.
motherfucking boss. And
I'm
she
the
could curse
CEO.
now.
She's the
I'm the
CEO.
motherfucking
I'm the
CEO.
motherfucking CEO. You can't
I'm
say
the
I'm the boss.
motherfucking
I don't have the
CEO.
right. I don't have the right to that.
I don't need
But
this shit from you.
I can
She
see
can
her
curse now.
playing nice, similar to the way Punk did, in which he was just working with young guys and he was happy-go-lucky Punk until he got the world title and things just went like, oh shit, these need to be this way. And I hope they just give the women more time on their show instead of one segment a week and whatnot. This should be multiple segments now. It should be like Raw
Yeah,
this week, where you just was like, "Oh, this is an all women's
they,
show."
they, they
Until
can't
we
they
get to the
can't keep
family.
doing ETE moments in the back where you have to go to YouTube and watch it back. Like, I had no idea that freaking Angelo Parker and freaking Ruby Soho has been, the storyline is still going, and I'm just like, how? What the fuck is going on?
The quote
And then
great Kanye was, "Why, Sway? Why? Where we going with this? Why is this going? Why? You
it's
ain't got the
still
answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers."
going. I thought it was over. I thought the Valentine's Day shit was done. I thought she already turned her back on her friend, but no. Apparently, Paige's brother, who wasn't good enough to make it to WWE, is now in AEW now, beating Angelo Parker up, and now she's aligned himself with his sister, taking care of his sister's affairs. Like, what's going on here, bro?
Yeah, Holly Cameron's involved. Like, there's a lot of stuff we can do better. We can do so much better than whatever's going on in this division. Now, Jamal, let's move into the flip side of this. Bayley, the other half of the Brooklyn set, had an amazing run in 2020/2021. Kind of got injured, formed Damage Control, not the hottest act in the world, but they were around consistently. She gets turned on by Damage Control and Dakota Kai, who is now joined them. Asuka's now joined the group, and maybe even, as you brought up Julia joining AEW, maybe she joins WWE and joins EO and whatnot. Who knows? Or she joins Bayley in that scenario. Julia is still a factor because her contract was up in March. She just dropped a belt, so that means she's probably on the move somewhere. What do you think the future holds for Bayley? Does she beat EO at WrestleMania? Does she main event WrestleMania? What do you got?
She's not main eventing WrestleMania, unfortunately. At least I don't see it, unless Triple H, unless Daddy H says, "Hey, night one, I know The Rock and Roman is like, well, no, we're gonna put your ass in the last match." What's fucked up is that it's probably gonna be the first match on the card instead of the fucking last one, and
Yeah.
that's the really most. I mean, like, if that's what you're gonna do, then that's actually good, because finally then Bayley gets to show the world exactly who the hell she is, and wins the women's championship. It's not like she hasn't won before at WrestleMania. Remember that fucking multi-man match that she had, which included Nia Jax? So, like, she won that. She did her thing on that, but that was Hugger Bayley. We're talking about Damage Control Bayley or the role model Bayley. Bayley.
I'm gonna say this. Other than the women's tag team title, Bayley's fighting for the least respected title in all of WWE at this current moment. Because Intercontinental title, Gunther has it, high praise. Roman's title, high praise. Logan Paul technically is elevating the U.S. title.
He is. It's not. There's no technically. He is.
He is. The tag titles are fine with Finn and Priest. They have bangers of matches and they are on TV consistently.
That 6-man ladder match is gonna be insane.
Yep.
That 16 ladder match.
Bodies will be broken in this one. So was good. Oh, it turns out safe.
Dislocated neck. Severed disc.
Try this at home.
Hip replacement, 4 surgeries, MCL tear.
They played it so many times that's burned in each of our minds. Every single image of energy, whether it's Triple H tearing, like getting injured on the table and falling off, or Kurt Angle and whatever. It's so many, that whole thing. Anyway, back to Fiend Focus. This is going to be a sleeper good match. Like, this is going to be a really good match between Io and Bayley. Both of them could really go in the ring. Io's going to be able to fully display, because Io's on kind of the back burner of the storyline. Dakota Kai is kind of more the front runner due to English barrier.
Mastermind. Yeah. And she was injured for a long time. So it's good that they're, and this is, again, the work of Bayley elevating everyone else around her. She's got somebody that was injured for a better part of like half a year, and she's got her in a position. She's about to wrestle her on SmackDown on Friday, and you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, she's about to she's elevating everybody that's around her, whether she's wrestling against them, with them, has them in the circle, has them in the conversation. Like, she just elevates everyone that she's in the ring with.
The main problem with this storyline has nothing to do with any of the women involved, or like, you can do whatever you want with Bayley. She can win the Rumble. You can feature her more or whatnot. The problem with this title match is that it's the same issue with Seth and Drew. We know what the real world title is, and Rhea Ripley is the real world champion. And her and Becky are the ones really fighting for their title. Like, that's where we're at right now. Rhea's too big a star.
Isn't it ironic that both of the titles, they're like opposite of each other? Like, Roman's belt is Io's belt, but Roman's belt is like the belt instead of Seth's belt, and then how Rhea's belt is the belt, but it's not. It's Seth's belt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very ironic that's how that plays out.
On SmackDown, but you know what? That's called balance in the world, right there. Rhea's the biggest star, and like we were saying earlier, it's probably goes Cody, Rhea, Roman as the two biggest everyday with Roman star in WWE. That's beyond the Rock or whatever else they're doing with that, and it's gonna overshadow anything Bayley does. Even if there was no second tag match between Roman, Seth, and all that, I don't think Bayley and Io were ever main eventing night 1 or 2 of the show.
They would have gave it. They would have gave it to Seth and Drew. They would have gave it to Seth and Drew.
Seth and Drew, or if Punk stayed healthy, Punk and Seth, or Rhea and Becky would have got it.
Yeah, but then he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back. He's gonna fight Drew because Drew's been talking too much shit.
I can't wait. Drew is hilarious.
Drew is talking wild shit. He reminds me of when he was wrestling in ICW in Ireland and England and shit like that. Like, he was, when he was teamed up with Wolfgang and a few others, like, they were bad motherfuckers.
And Drew is right now currently he might be the best heel in the game. He probably is the best heel in the game now that, like,
I don't know. Dominic Mysterio getting booed at his wedding. I don't know who does that.
But Dominic ain't winning nothing. Not anytime soon. You don't know. Maybe next year. Maybe Dominic has a trajectory of next year to go up somewhere and do something. But this year, I don't even think Dominic's even making WrestleMania.
What you mean? That multi-man ladder match is a thing, and I guarantee you,
Finn and Priest.
It's not about fighting them, right? They're gonna weasel their way. They should weasel their way into that match. Like it should be JD and Dominic replacing somebody that got hurt or injured because they fucking injured them or whatever the fuck, and then they sneak their way into the match. So now all 4 members are gonna be in that match. So they have 2 opportunities to win the tag titles, or somebody's got to win that shit.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal for Dominic Mysterio. Not wishing him. That's not wishing for a downfall. Maybe he'd be the one. Maybe he'd be the successful one.
Then winning it.
Yeah. I'm all for him winning that, and just his ego being out of control. Or they just give him that match with Andrade that they're kind of teasing, but not really. It looks like it's WrestleMania worthy just to throw that on there, even though be a solid match. Yeah, I expect this to be a really good match between Bayley and Becky, and I'm sorry, Io, and I don't have Bayley winning. I don't have Bayley winning this match. As crazy as that sounds,
I got Bayley winning. It's her time. It's her moment. It's her definitive WrestleMania moment. Like, she doesn't have one. I don't care if she won the Raw Women's title. She beat Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Nia Jax, and others. No, this is going to be her definitive WrestleMania moment. She won the Royal Rumble. She got double crossed by her team that she created, that she elevated to the point of where they are right now. And she's going to go on to WrestleMania. She's going to fight through the odds, and she's going to not embrace her hugger thing. She's still going to be a role model, Bayley, but she's going to show why that she should be one of the marquee women in WWE, if anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if she gets what she wants, that entrance is going to be crazy. If she gets what she wants,
I want her to get the old entrance. I want her. I would go crazy if she came out with the old Bayley entrance with the Bayley buddies and shit. I made her jump out my seat.
I'm telling you right now. She asked Paramore to do something with her, and Paramore already is like, okay, we're good with it. But if WWE can land Paramore and play Bayley out, nigga.
It could be nice. It could be nice. But the only way Bayley's returning if she links up and gets all the black women in the SmackDown locker room to join forces with her. I'm talking about she needs Jade, she needs Naomi, she needs Bianca, she needs every black woman in that roster to help her win this title. Because that's the only way she's winning.
Maybe the ghost of her past helps her out. Charlotte's getting healthy.
Yeah, Charlotte's healthy. They're throwing on the card. They're finding random match with Charlotte. Charlotte will win some random belt for no reason. Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair are the new tag team champions. What? She's healthy.
I'm mad with people be. And then see that's actually a good setup, because then it could be like, I am the best. You're a pretender.
Yeah.
I'm no pretend. And then they could do that Sheamus Cesaro thing before they became the Bar.
They're just like, we are the Bar, the Lady Bar.
Lady Bar is crazy.
But big things are big things are happening in wrestling, especially tonight with Big Business. Do you have any other surprises happening tonight at Big Business? I know Luchador Brown, this is probably Darby Allin's last match before he goes to Mount Everest, where he may die. You motherfucker!
We're taking death trips as a vacation. Okay, no big deal. Sting's not my partner no more, so I'm gonna kill myself on Everest. Nice. Cool, bro.
Stop it. We have Wardlow, Samoa Joe. Get out of here, Wardlow. You ain't winning. You ain't winning. You ain't beating no Samoa Joe tonight.
If Wardlow beats Samoa Joe tonight, it'll be because of the Undisputed Kingdom. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And that's a big if. That's like if, exclamation point, capital letters, just like ETE, capital.
Yeah. I don't want any of those fools to win the title. If Joe was going to lose that title, he could have lost it to Hangman or Swerve. I would have rather see that than anybody in Undisputed Kingdom.
The thing about it is,
and downward spiral.
The thing about it is, like, I got Joe winning this match, and in all earnest. But if they do go with Wardlow winning this belt, then the interesting thing is going to be to see if Wardlow gives that shit up to Adam Cole like he said he was going to do.
Yeah, but do I really care? Do I care? I don't want to see fragile little Adam Cole get up there and punk giant Wardlow, a grown ass man, a very big meaty man, to be like, give me that title, Wardlow. And Wardlow like, no. And I don't want to see Wardlow with the belt. I feel like he had his moment, and it's like
With the
past.
TNT?
It just seemed like that era of like after he turned on MJF and he had everybody singing the symphony and all that. It just seemed like that was the Wardlow era, and then it kind of just went by and they missed
derailed.
that.
It derailed. It derailed.
Yeah. Right now we're in the Ospreay, the Okada just covered in.
How does Ospreay
MJF coming back and whatnot? You have all these big names, and I'd rather see all of them be your champion than Wardlow.
How does Ospreay come to AEW 2 matches in and pulls 2 5-stars right out the rip?
Yeah,
random. I'm not match on Dynamite. Random match on Dynamite, and he pulls 2 5-stars back to back.
Yeah.
How?
Still not a fan. I'm not a fan of that match last week. Fuck that match last week. I hate that match last week.
How does he do that?
I'm already upset. Like, I had a whole rant. I know we did a 30-minute episode of the Untitled Man Idiot Marcus show yesterday, and I ended the show saying I have so much more to say. And I did, because after the show, me and Randy talked for another hour and a half about wrestling, and it was me ranting about crazy shit. Yes, the Kyle Fletcher Ospreay match is good. Just too many moves to take out Kyle Fletcher. It just seemed too much. Like, we could have cut that an hour. The next thing I want to talk about, Collision. I hate what they're doing with Okada already. There's no reason Pac should scare off Okada in his first week in the company. Get the fuck out of here, you little fucking elf. Okada should just punch him in the face.
Hey. That elf is the king of the cruiserweights, okay?
Yeah, back in 2015, back when Sasha and Bayley were still in NXT or some shit. Get out of here, Pac. Get out of here. Yeah, my next mini rant before we talk about, I don't even want to touch on Neville. I'm just gonna call him Neville.
You're not Pac anymore. You bastard. Yeah. You're Neville.
Yeah. I don't give a deal. You're gonna come back. You're gonna fight probably Okada. You're gonna lose Okada. You're gonna disappear for 6 months again. That's what his schedule has been. Then I want to talk about Collision, in which the flaming table spot with Mark Briscoe. Horrible. It's one of the worst looking flaming table spots I've ever seen, especially in a company with a budget. You know what? In a high school gym on Botchamania, I expect to see some shit like this. But in a $1 billion promotion where they couldn't even get the fire up to snuff, when you put Mark Briscoe in the fire, it took Malachi and the people that put him through the flaming table to put him out. They had nobody with extinguishers to make sure it's a sticking cab. It looked absolutely horrible, and I hated it. I hated it. This is me just ranting. And the quote Manny, this is a Manny quote, and I may be Lord Manny. I don't know. I think you're in the chat right now, whatever. To paraphrase, I do not want to see Shane Taylor wrestle Bryan Danielson. It was like watching a bald black Nikita Lyons wrestle. And I was like, that's harsh. That's harsh.
That's disrespectful, but
it's mad disrespectful.
I understand Manny's sentiment, because this isn't the Shane Taylor that I want to see wrestle Bryan Danielson. Shane Taylor from 2 years ago is one that I would love to have seen this match.
Yeah, it not this one. Willie Mack in there. It may have been any jobber in there, to be honest. Like, Shane Taylor shouldn't be treated like a jobber, or Lee Moriarty, but they're just used to elevate everybody else. They just lose.
I need Shane Taylor to get back on his bullshit. That made me buy his shirt. That made me believe in our people, because he was really he's really one for the culture. I've met Shane Taylor. He's really like that, and as a person, and as he's like that. So, damn, I wish where's my STP shirt? Damn it, where is it? Listen,
for some reason, By the decree of the Lord, ET will only be lowercase. Fuck you, Manny. We're all caps. All caps. We yell too much to not be all caps. We're too passionate about this not to be all caps. But with that being said, this should be a good night in wrestling for AEW Big Business. Is there any other thing in the wrestling you want to talk about? I know, there's the whole Jack Perry side of the House of Torture now.
Nobody
And
and see, here's the thing
TJP took
about
over
this.
the United Empire.
Yeah, he did. The Jack Perry thing. And mind you, I'm the fucking New Japan guy. Why the fuck is Jack Perry in New Japan as the scapegoat? And he's now taking over the worst faction in New Japan. Like, get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck is the House of Torture anymore? Fucking Bullet Club Light. Damn it.
The Manny just sent a random text. It's disrespectful to Nikita Lyons. Shayta is a man of many shapes. He just called him fat. That C on his attire does not stand for captain. It stands for cookies. Manny's being completely disrespectful. Disrespectful to Shane Taylor. But you know what? I'm not going to disagree because his presentation, the way Tony is making that man live on the jobber circuit. Why not? Why not? He's in the same category as any other jobber on there.
I can't really say anything disrespectful about Shane Taylor because, like, I've met the man. I know what he stands for. I've seen his entire work. So, and on top of that, where the fuck is Keith Lee? Yep, don't care.
He's injured.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nope.
Basically, Shane Taylor's there.
Shane Taylor's there.
They took that spot. They just saw the Collision Jobs crew with Anna Jay and Sky Blue.
So,
that's the level of talent they're on right now.
So
it's ridiculous, disrespectful.
I did want to say about EO, right? I think we're gonna see a Stardom EO at WrestleMania. We're gonna see that double flip moonsault stomp. We're gonna see the moonsault stomp. We're gonna see her fly higher than she's ever flown before. And I mean, like, not like takeover in the cage and a trash can on her head, but she's gonna start doing some Genius of Disguise shit to beat Bayley or to try to beat Bayley.
Yeah, I expect all of that and all her bag of tricks, and I think it's gonna be an epic match. But you know what I need before that? I need a sick ass EO video package. They do some EO, her whole, put her back underwater like they had her in NXT and just like talking telepathically like she was Mewtwo or some shit. Let's get a sick ass EO package going. Have Nakamura's team work on it. I don't care. Give me some with EO because EO's
have the anime.
Yeah, EO's whole character in this whole feud with Bayley is this. Oh. Clinching her title and making exaggerated reactions. She's good at it, making these face reactions of angry, shocked, evil. Like she does good, but I need a dope ass video package where she know about Bayley's back or something.
Does the Kabuki Warriors interfere in this match?
I believe so, and hopefully the black women save Bayley. As it's been carried her entire career. Bayley's nothing without a black woman by her side.
Does the Kabuki Warriors end up are they still the tag team champions or are they not the tag team champions interfering in this match?
They're losing these titles somewhere in WrestleMania. I don't know who to, whether it's Bianca and Naomi or Jade and Naomi or whatever the combination you could come up with. Somewhere in there, the Kabuki Warriors are losing their titles. So, with that being said, you can find us on ETE and our top 100 matches and on random live shows like today every Wednesday or almost every Wednesday. It's depending on if I fuck up or not, basically. Every Wednesday here on the Sharpshooter channel. You can find more Jamal on the Mid-Card Mess Podcast on SoundCloud. There's the link below right here. I swear to you, it's right there. For those who can't read, it's SoundCloud. We know wrestling fans, as a heel I am, having trouble reading some of this stuff. Just ask any heel in the business when they go to any town.
I'm
Like,
doing a go home show the week of WrestleMania because I'm going to the Raw go home of WrestleMania. So that's when the next episode will air. I will have a special guest on that show. So that's what I'm waiting for.
intriguing mysteries.
And
And the special
in the
guest is
meantime,
Mercedes Monet or
in the
Darby
mean,
Allin live from Mount Everest.
in the meantime, I'm still hashing out the New Japan Cup history. I'll post that some random time. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do it because work and stuff. So
Yeah. You know, life happens. Life finds a way
it's
to
happening
interrupt wrestling. And you'll find me here today, tomorrow, then, now, forever on the Untitled Mania Market Show, which
together.
probably will. I'll leave that part out. I'll leave that part out. Ever since Vince Laurinaitis and shit, I'll leave that together part out. They can keep that. They can keep that together part. Shit, they can probably take. They can change that whole phrase. TKL, jump in on that. They changed that whole phrase. We're in a different era right now.
24 days, man. 24 days left to the show of shows.
The showcase of the immortals. And tomorrow we're talking about big business and all the fallout from that, the drama, the action, the
You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be like Jamal was right. She didn't even show up.
She
didn't even show up.
You didn't even care. You didn't show up, and you didn't care. You didn't care. You went out to get cigarettes in the middle of the show, and you never came back.
What is gonna happen when she doesn't show up? That's what I like. We know what the reaction is gonna be if she shows up, but what is gonna happen when she doesn't? That's what I want.
I'll tell you this: it will create an insane amount of buzz. I don't probably negative, but I would die laughing, and I would call this the greatest episode of AEW Dynamite if she decides not to show up. And not because I'm like rooting for their downfall or anything like that. I just find that fucking hilarious. She's advertised this. She's even said she's in Boston on her Instagram and all that. And then all of a sudden we're doing all this, and then we go through the entire show, and you know, fuck it, we're in the darkest timeline. Wardlow becomes champion over Joe, and you go like Mercedes is coming out in the last minute. They have like 5 minutes to go, and then
no, it's gonna be on AEW YouTube. Like you're gonna find out secondhand. This happened exclusively on AEW YouTube. Here you go.
Britt Baker's father in the back right away. Like, and then apparently Sasha beat her and Adam Cole up somehow. Wild shit in the back. But yeah, it should be an exciting night in wrestling and an exciting show tomorrow on the Untitled Mania Market Show. And then tune in Saturday for Eric's reaction to all this, where he would go, "So what?"
I wanna know Eric's response to CJ Perry being for the streets. I want to see. I can't wait. Man. I can't wait for Saturday's show. Saturday's show.
I don't even understand why that was a TMZ press release. Neither one of our biggest stars to be like, "I'm in TMZ. We broke up, but we're gonna remain friends." And I was like, I don't care.
Tough.
Does this mean Miro's gonna start showing up on AEW again?
I want to know. I want to know the T. Damn it! I want to know the T. I want to know the T. Just like I didn't know that Lash Legend and Trick Williams was going out until last night. I didn't know, and it was like, but I thought Lash Legend was married to not Trick Williams. That's what I know. No, that's what I know. Ariel Howard was married.
Trick from whatever.
Ariel Howard was married to somebody not Trick Williams.
Oh, scandal!
That's what I know.
Scandal.
That's what I know. So
tune in tomorrow for my review of a lot of stuff at NXT, where I go, this was one of the most random shows of all time. Match ended in DQ after 2 low blows in a women's match.
From female.
In a women's match.
Female.
Sean, what you smoking on in the back?
Santino would be proud.
Yeah, but that was just a little preview of tomorrow. We will see you guys on this channel tomorrow and next week here on ETE. You guys
like, share, and subscribe, man.
Yeah, because we are doing big business around here. Later. See you guys later. Business.
Money.
Oh, that's the wrong. What? Somehow our background changed. Anyway.
I don't care where live. I don't care whether we're live. I don't care whether live. Do it.
Yeah,
we're still
recording.
live. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't stop it. I was gonna see how long you went. Now we're leaving. See you guys later. Bye.